गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां. Last week we saw how we are in Katha Upanishad chapter part 2 chapter 1 where are we? Chapter, what is the chapter, man? अभी मैं भूल गया.
Verse 3, I think.
Chapter 1. Chapter 1. Chapter 1, second part, chapter 1, fourth verse we have to start, but third verse we will look. And it said, what did it say? Let me come. It said, येन रूपं रसं गन्धं शब्दान् स्पर्शांश्च मैथुनान् एतेनैव विजानाति किमत्र परिशिष्यते एतद्वै तत्. This is that. What is this? This is that because of which yena rupam rasam gandham shabdan sparshan smaithunan, that all these things happen because of happen because, not only because, but also he is the knower of all the forms, all the rasa, tastes, all the smells, gandham, all the shabdan, all the words or sounds, sparshans, all the feelings, maithunan, all the unions. What is the union? The eye uniting with the forms and colors, the ear uniting with the sound, the nose uniting with the smell, the tongue uniting and enjoying with the taste. So this is the maithunan. Not only from a very crude way of explaining the sex, but this is also maithunan, where the two meet together. And the ete naiva vijanati kimatra parishishyate, the one who comes, what else is left behind? Ete naiva vijanati, the one who knows everything, every object, all the five stimuli, and also their union with their sense organs. So also with the mind, what else remains to be known by this all-knowing principle? That all-knowing principle who knows all this, this is that. What is that? Anyatra dharmat, anyatra dharmat, anyatra asmat kruta krutat. That Nachiket asked the teacher, the Lord of Death, what is that which is beyond dharma, adharma? What is that which is beyond doing and not doing? What is that which is beyond past and future? Please tell me, tell me, not out of your imagination, but tell me that which you see and perceive right here and now. And to that, these answers from verse till now, it's continuing. And here, Bhagwan, the Lord of Death, he says, in this way, I have answered, kimatra parishishyate, etaneva vijanati, kimatra parishishyate, etad vai tata. So, that that tattva, that principle is certainly that one who knows all this. And in this way, O Nachiket, I have answered your question substantially. But Lord Death is so compassionate, he will not stop there. Then he says, Ati Sukshmatvad Durvigneyam iti Matvaitam evartham punah punaraha. Now, this Brahma being very, very subtle, what is subtle? Finer. What is fine? Which is more pervasive. So, what is subtler than, we are talking about here the word subtle. Subtler than the earth is water. Subtler than water is fire. Subtler than fire is air. Subtler than air is space. Subtler than space is mind. Subtler than mind is life. Subtler than life is the conscious principle. So this is the relative. In this, the earth was the grossest. So Brahman, the conscious principle, the infinite, all pervasive. Remember what did I say? The subtler a thing is, more pervasive it is. So what is the subtlest? Space. After space came mind. After mind came life principle. After life principle came Chaitanya Vastu, the conscious principle. So it is 4 times subtler than the space. So and because it is so subtle, because it is so fine, because it is so all pervasive, without any boundaries, without any form, without any attributes, therefore it is durvigneya. Therefore it is almost an unknowable. Unknowable by whom? Unknowable by the mind. It is unknowable by the mind. Only knows how to experience, and it can experience only that which is having some attribute, some form, some parameters. See, and this is beyond all the parameters. It is beyond the mind. What is that? Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. This principle is that where the words cannot reach and the mind cannot comprehend. Just for example's sake, you cannot see electricity, you can see light. But once you see light, you know there is electricity behind. When you see 2 lights, you know it is the same electricity behind the 2 lights. In this room right now, there are about 8 lights with the fan and the AC going. But I know it is the same electricity behind. In fact, it is the same electricity behind all the gadgets in this world. But have I seen electricity? No. Now don't say, but I can feel electricity, because you will get a shock. We are not going in that direction. Similarly, I know space is everywhere. In the space, the whole creation is, the whole cosmos is. But have I seen space? Is space an object to be perceived? Mind can perceive only forms, only colors, only shapes. So I can perceive this laptop, I can perceive this phone, I can perceive the stand, the microphone, the pillows, the bed, etc., etc., etc. But can I perceive space? Does space have a smell? Does it have a taste? Does it have a feeling? Does it have a sound? Does it have a feeling? It's qualityless in that sense. Yes, the quality of the space is sound. Don't forget that. But am I able to perceive? Am I able to see? No. Because space is not a thing. It is not an object of contemplation. Absence cannot be an object of contemplation. Nothingness cannot be an object of contemplation. objects are. Absence of objects is called space. So in this manner, as much as space is not a knowable, even subtler than that is this Atma, is this Brahman, and it is even more subtle, and therefore Durvigneya, it is an unknowable. And coming to know this Atma, coming to know this Brahma, it is told, here it says that we are going to tell you the same thing. Matvaitam evardham punah aha, means we are going to tell you we are going to talk about that which is untalkable. We are going to speak about that which is unknowable again and again. And now in this verse, repeat after me. Swapnantam jagaritantam, Swapnantam jagaritantam, Chobhau yenanupashyati, Chobhau yenanupashyati, Mahantam vibhumatmanam, Mahantam vibhumatmanam, Matvadhiro na shochati, Matvadhiro na shochati. Together, Swapnantam jagaritantam, Chobhau yenanupashyati, Mahantam vibhumatmanam, Matvadhiro na shochati. Sangeeta, did we do this verse?
We haven't done this one.
Nahi kiya na? So Swapnantam is in the sleep, Jagaritantam in the waking, Cha Ubhau, Cha Swapnantam in the dream, and Cha and in the waking, Jagaritantam, Ubhau in both, Yenanu Pashyati, he who knows what knows all the objects in the waking and the dream. Swapnantam jagaritantam cha ubhau yena anupashyati, the one who is perceiving all the padartha, all the objects in the waking and the dream. Mahantam vibhumatmanam matva dhiro na shochati, that great, Mahantam, that greater than the greatest, and Vibhum Atmanam, that all pervasive. Vibhum is that which is everywhere. Vibhum, what is everywhere? That Atma, that greater than the greatest Atma, because Atma at individual level alone is that great Atma at the as Brahman. So Atma and Brahman are one, that is Brahmatmaikya Bodh. Don't forget. So Mahantam, that greater than the greatest, that all pervasive Atma, Matva dhiro na shochati, having known which, Matva, having known which, the wise people do not become miserable in life. So the only way out of misery in our life is to come to know the Atmic principle, to come to know the Brahmic principle as the self. And therefore this verse is told, by knowing the Atma Gyan, by knowing the self, there is no shoka moha thereafter. Let's read the Bhashya. Swapnantam swapna madhyam swapna vigneyam iti artaha, tatha jagaritantam jagarita madhyam jagarita vigneyam cha ubhau swapna jagaritantav yena atmana anupashyati loka iti sarvam purvavata. So swapnantam. So here it says swapnantam swapna madhyam swapna vigneyam iti artaha. So what does swapnantam means? That's the first word in the verse. Swapnantam means in the middle of the dream, in the dream. What is, in other words, whatever is worthy to be known in the dream. What is worthy to be known in the dream? All the names and forms, all the variety that is appearing in the dream is to be known, is worthy to be known in the dream. Exactly the same way, tatha jagaritantam, jagarita madhyam, jagarita vigneyam. So, same way, what is worthy to be known in the waking? All the objectivity, all the multiplicity, all the variety that is worthy to be known, that is available to be known. Then cha ubhau swapna jagaritantau yena atmana anupashyati. In these two, that is sleep, dream and dream and waking, within these two, the padartha, the various loka, in these two lokas, whatever is available to be known, that whatever is seen or perceived by the Atma, that Atma itself, the one who is seeing all this itself is the Brahman. So this must be read. This particular verse has to be read. Here it says, Anuvache lok iti sarva purvavata. Purvavata means that what idea was presented in the yena rupam rasam gandham. Please read this verse along with the previous verse, then the thought will be complete. So that which knows the rupa rasa gandha etc. and their union, same thing. That where are the various stimuli? Those two stimuli are available in the dream world as well as in the waking world. And the one who knows these two, who is he? Who is witnessing these two padarthas without getting disturbed by them? That is the Atma. And not only that, he is that will take, what is coming to my mind is not told here, so I will not say that. And when you are understanding this verse, you combine it with the previous one and then read it. Tam mahantam vibhum atmanam matvavagamyatma bhavena sakshat aham asmi paramatmeti dhiraha na shochati. So here it says that great and pervasive, that great mahantam, that vibhum atmanam, that all pervasive atma, come to know that the one who knows all the padarthas, all the objects, all the stimuli. Combine the first verse, the third verse and the fourth verse, where were all the stimuli available in the waking world and the dream world. That is where all the variety is available. And who is the knower? Atma is the knower, undisturbed by them, is illuminating them, and the stimuli keep changing, but the Atma remains the same. Sometimes you are seeing, sometimes you are touching, sometimes you are here. All the stimuli are changing, but the Atma remains the same. And this way, here the teachers, Bhashyakar, that is Adi Shankaracharya, says that coming to know this great Atma, this all-pervasive Atma, as the knower of all the padarthas, and then he says that matva avagamyatma bhavena, what bhav you should have? Sakshat aham asmi paramatmeti. Sakshat, that I am that Atma, I am that Paramatma. See? And with this Atma Bhava, he directly experiences, the one who directly experiences. Who are these people who directly experience the Atma or the Paramatma as Aham Asmi, that I am that? They are the Dhira Purusha. Dhiro na Shochati. They are the the wise people, they are the intelligent people, and therefore, and having come to know in this manner, this constant principle, this atmic principle, this all pervasive principle, this greater than the greatest principle, this all pervasive principle which is untouched by everything that it illuminates, all the padarthas in the waking and the dream states. And what is the nature of this principle? Constant. What is the nature of all the padarthas? Changing. This is discrimination. Such wise people, they do not become miserable. They do not experience shoka moha. See how beautiful. And in this manner, to that which is the perceiver of the dream and waking life objects, and that which is, and not only that which is illuminating or knowing the objects of the waking and the dream, but also in between. What is in between the objects? What is in between the two states? By absence. He is illuminating that also. Meaning, he is a continuous principle. Whether waking appears, stays, and goes away, then what is there? Absence of waking. Dream hasn't started yet. But because waking has gone away and dream hasn't begun, does it mean that the Atma has vanished? No, Atma is the constant principle. And in this way, the one which is between the both states. So we don't say that between the two states there is absence. We do not say that between the two thoughts there is absence. Then who is there between the two thoughts? What is there between the two thoughts? I am. You are the constant. The one who knows as such, he does not grieve anymore. The Atma is the witness of the waking and the dream and a dream life, and it also links the waking and the dream together. It's mysterious. This is the union. The union is due to the constancy of the self. Because see, you don't feel that you were not the waker, you don't feel that you are not the sleeper, you don't feel you are not the dreamer. Day in and day out, these three are coming and going. You only feel that you are the waker, you are the dreamer, you are the sleeper every day. So what is that continuity which is not becoming absent in the absence of the state? See? What is that continuity which is not becoming absent in the absence of the state? That is the connecting power. That is the connecting principle. That is this mysterious principle which is, but it is not perceived. And that is this Atma. And that Atma, I am. Come to know it in this manner. Is the waking experience happening by itself? Is the dream experience happening by itself? Is the sleep experience happening by itself? Or is there one because of whom these three are coming and going, but that fourth one is not coming and going? Who is this fourth one who is not shunting around as the waker, dreamer and dream sleeper? That is the Turiya Tattva. Turiya is the transcendental one who is supporting the phenomena of the waking, dream and deep sleep. but itself is untouched by the waking dream and deep sleep, just as sun is supporting the phenomena of day and night but is untouched by the phenomena of day and night. Start claiming who you are rather than live at the mercy of the waking world. Is it our experience that the waking consciousness is other than the dream consciousness, is other than the deep sleep consciousness? Or we feel I alone am in everywhere? So this, what is that? This Atma, this infinite consciousness that I am alone, is the basis on which the waking consciousness, dream consciousness, and sleep consciousness come and go. Just like man is the constant on which the husband comes and goes, the son comes and goes, the father comes and goes. Man does not come and go, man remains the same. See, it's that simple. The tongue is the same, all the tastes come and go. The vision is the same, all the colors and forms come and go. The hearing ability is the same, all the sounds come and go. Same way. Mind is the same, the thoughts come and go. Keep going back. I is the same, the mind, the waking mind, dream mind, deep sleep mind comes and goes. Which is this I? Which does not come and go. Do you feel you have come and gone? Whenever you talk of waking, dream, and deep sleep as coming and going, you are talking about the experience, an objective experience. But do you feel you have come and gone? No, I have been in deep waking also I was, dream also I was, deep sleep I was also I was. I don't have the experience of coming and going. I know these three came and went. And very confidently you say, yesterday, yes, I had these three come and go. Day before also. Since I got my brains, from that time I know these three have come and gone. These three have come and gone. I have not come and gone. These three, the waking conscious, dream consciousness and deep sleep consciousness, they are contents of the same consciousness. Just like father, son and the husband, they are content of the same man. They have come out of him and go back to him. Similarly, the waking, dream, deep sleep, they come out of the, it's a creationless creation. That is what is called as phenomena. They are the contents of the same consciousness. They come out, express for some time and go back. As if, important point, as if. Otherwise, and in this manner, so what is this Atma then? What is this Turiya Tattva? That which knows the Swapnantam, Jagaritantam. It is that which alone knows itself. Nobody else can come to know it. The waker cannot come to know it. The dreamer cannot come to know it. The sleeper cannot come to know it. The five senses cannot come to know it. The mind and the intellect cannot come to know it. Then who can come to know it? Only it can come. It not can come to know. Only it knows itself. It is self-knowing. Who? The Atma. What is that? The Turiya principle, the transcendental one, and the one who knows. So is it that the Atma is projecting the waking conscious, dream consciousness, sleep consciousness outside? Is it like that? You ask the question to yourself. Is the body projecting the husband, the father, and the son out of the body? Is it? Is the mind projecting all the beings in the dream outside the mind? Is it? Or the mind alone has become all the inert and the conscious objects in the dream? Just like that. Is the water projecting the wave out of itself? Is it? That it projected the wave, then it collapsed the wave. Is the water doing that? Or water is just being water, the constant principle. And on that constant principle, the phenomena of wave is coming and going. Sometimes you have to think differently. And similarly, here, that neither the Atma projects any contents out of it, nor it is attached to any contents in the mind, within itself. Because Atma is the constant principle. Atma does not project the waking consciousness. It does not project the dream consciousness. It does not project the deep sleep consciousness. Then what does Atma do? It doesn't do anything. It is the akarta. Akarta, abhokta. Then where are these coming from? They are happening. They are happenings. The one who knows this, he is the wise person, and he does not, and he becomes free of all grief. Why? Because he does not allow you and me, we experience sorrow, we experience grief only because we get entangled in the mind rather than being the conscious principle that we are. And what is mind? A matrix of space and time. When the space and time crisscross each other, a web of world is created, which is a phenomenal world. Actually, nothing is there. Just like in the dream, nothing is there, yet everything is seen. Husband, brother, father, son, who are these personalities? Nothing, but yet they appear to be there, and you get entangled in those personalities and then experience the sorrow, you experience the grief, you experience the expectations, etc., anxieties. But the moment you become the man, you come to be the man, that very moment, all the grief of the father, son, husband, all of it goes away in toto. And in this way, by knowing the Atmic principle, by knowing this Atman, which is none other than the Brahman itself or the Paramatma itself, one frees himself or her. There's no himself or herself, but we are using the language. One frees themselves of all the grief and sorrow. Now, the Lord of Death is telling Nachiket, etad vai tata, that was told in the previous verse. Now we come to the fifth verse. What is fifth verse? And here the identity, the not identity, how the individual consciousness and the infinite consciousness are one and the same, is being told. And what does it say? It says, and once you come to know, see, na shochati na kankshati. Once you stop grieving, then will you be afraid of God? Once you recognize that this consciousness, that constant principle that I am, alone is the infinite principle, then there will be no fear about anything or anyone in any of the worlds. Which are the worlds? Either you take it as the waking world, dream world, or deep sleep world, or you can take all the 14 lokas, which are part of these three only. Then we will not be God-fearing person. We got nothing to fear with God, because in essence we are God. So therefore, in this verse, this fearless disposition of the Atma is being brought out. Ya imam madhvadam veda, ya imam madhvadam veda, atmanam jivamantikat, atmanam jivamantikat, ishanam bhuta bhavyasya, ishanam bhuta bhavyasya, natato vijugupsate, natato vijugupsate, etadvaitata, etadvaitata. Continuing together. Ya imam madhvadam veda, atmanam jivamantikat, ishanam bhuta bhavyasya, natato vijugupsate, etadvaitata. It says that person, or that person that person who knows this Atma. What is this? Imam madhvadam veda atmana jivamantikat. Okay. What is that? You see, the one who knows him as the enjoyer of all the karma phala, and he knows this Atma as the one who holds all the pranas together, and the one who knows the Atma as the ruler of the past, present and future. When he comes to get this understanding, then he does not, he comes to a disposition. What is that disposition? He says that he does not thereafter try to protect the self. Right now we protect the self with food. We protect the self by overexhaustion. We protect the self by taking medicines. We protect the self by exercise, good thoughts. We have to improve the self by going to satsangs. But once you have come to know that this Atma is the one who is the enjoyer of all karma phala, this Atma is the one who is the controller or supporting all the pranas, this Atma is the one who is the ruler of all the past, present, future. Having come to know the self in this manner, such a person no longer lives in fear, no longer lives in a survival attitude. A protective survival means protection of this body and mind. Because now he has come to know that this principle is the Atmic principle, and this Atmic principle itself is the infinite principle. It's one and the same. Our problem is we think we are the individual doers, we are the enjoyers, that here the word used is honey, madhvadam, madhu, ya imam madhvadam veda atmanam jivamantika. This madhvadam is the madhu. Madhu means honey. That honey means that the experience of this world is sweet like honey. And so, because it is sweet like honey, so we cling to the world. We fail to recognize that we are not the doers. The ultimate doer is the Ishvara Tattva or the Atmic Tattva. All actions are prompted in his presence. He is the ultimate, and all the fruits of actions are enjoyed by him alone, not by the individual fellow, not by the individual doer. And out of that individual doer, it is not only the individual. Out of that again, that individual expresses as the waking doer, the dreamer doer, and the non-doer in the sleep. Out of that again, 1/3, the waking doer feels he has to do things, he is the doer, he is the enjoyer. Kitna corruption ho gaya, dekho. How much we have fallen unnecessarily. If you discriminate, there is no falling. If you discriminate, you are not the doer, he is the doer. If you discriminate, you are not the enjoyer of the fruits of all actions. He is the enjoyer of all the fruits. He is the prompter of all actions. You are not. Come to understand in this manner. And when we cling to this world to enjoy this madhu, this honey, then and when we recognize that Atma is the ultimate enjoyer rather than us, then whether we are in the midst of the sufferings, whether we are in the midst of the joys, whether we are in the past or that is the mind we are talking about. The mind is in the past or the future, but the Atmic principle, the constant principle is never forgotten, because we are that. Let the mind go through whatever it needs to go through. So it is not the individual doer who tastes the sweet results of the actions, but it is the Atma itself which tastes. And and this joy does not come from outside. This is our inverted thinking, wrong thinking, that the joy comes from the objects of the world. No, joy comes from the self itself. The origin of the joy is from the self. In fact, self alone is. We have told this to you many times. Whenever a desire is satisfied about something, the moment desire is satisfied, that very moment the yapping of the mind, it stops. The moment mind stops yapping, meaning projecting thoughts, spilling out thoughts, I want. When want is fulfilled, that very moment the mind stops, till the next desire comes. The moment mind stops, and there's nothing what it was desiring, for example, water. It was, I'm thirsty, I want water. I'm thirsty, I want water. I'm thirsty, I want water. The moment you get water, thirst is quenched, mind is silent. What is the joy of the quenching of the thirst? We say it was water because we are extrovert oriented, we are object oriented. But actually speaking, when the desire was subsided, that very moment, the Atma that we are, in essence, is not covered by that thought of that desire. When that thought, desire is not there, or the desired thought is not there, that very moment, it is not that absence expresses, no. At that moment, the self expresses. And what is self? Ananda Swarup. But all this happens so quickly that the waker, instead of seeing that it is the Atma, which is of the nature of Satchidanand Swarup, he appropriates the joy on the object itself. He says, the drinking of the water gave me the joy. If that was the case, if that was the truth, then you will be, if it is giving you joy, you should be able to drink water continuously through 24 hours a day. But you drink half a bottle of that, you will say, I am full. No, you loved it, you drink. No. I will vomit otherwise. So which means the joy was not in the object. The joy is the nature of the Atma. And in this way, here he says, and that Atma is the nearest and the dearest. Now let's see what he says here. I can start the Bhashya, but we won't be able to complete it. It's only 10 minutes left. Maybe we conclude here and see the Bhashya in our next class. Let's see. Ya kaschid imam madhvadam karma phalabhujam jivam pranadi kalapasya dharayitaramatmanam veda vijanati antikad antike samipa ishanam ईशितारं भूतभव्यस्य कालत्रयस्य ततः तद्विज्ञानाद् ऊर्ध्वमात्मानं न विजुगुप्सते न गोपायितुम् इच्छत्य भय प्राप्तवात्. He says, whoever this nectar, what is this nectar? Madhvada. This Madhvada is karma phala bhujam. It is the karma phala. Madhvada is the karma phala bhokta. And Jeev, who is this? The one who is knowing the, how should I say, not knowing, that for whom the karma phala bhokta, who is this karma phala bhokta? And who is this karma phala bhokta? It is the Jeev itself, the individuality. And pranadi kalapasya dharayitaram atmanam veda vijanati. And the one, and that pranadi, the one who is knowing, who is controlling, who is holding, in whose presence the pranadi, the various functionings, they are continuing. And he is also, what is that? Dharita pranadi kalapasya dharitaram atmanam veda vijanati antikad antike samipa ishanam ishitaram. So here he says that the one who is controlling the pranas, and also that Atma which is controlling the pranas, and also because of its proximity to or by its proximity, it is controlling the past, present and future. the three kalas. And how does he control? As the controller of the three periods of time. The one who comes to know this in this manner, then such a person, here it says, Samipa Ishanam Ishitaram Bhuta Bhavyasa Kalatrayasya, meaning the three periods of time, Tataha Tad Vijnanad Urdhvam Atmanam Na Vijugupsate Na Gopayitum Ichhatya Bhaya Praptavat. Such a person who has come to know this Atma in such a close manner, in such a proximity, then such a person does not have an inclination to protect the Atma in any manner that I have already explained to you before, in any manner, because such a person who knows this Atma in this proximity as the data was given before, then he and the Atma are not two separate. He cannot come to know the Atma. He is the Atma. Such a person is the Atma. And Ichatya Abhaya Praptavat means that he now no longer is afraid, because he has recognized aparokshatvena. He has come to know the Atma as the self that he is. Therefore, thereafter, he attains to abhayata. He attains to fearlessness. And the result of that fearlessness is that he lets go of all initiatives to protect life, to protect this Atma. Because now he is come to know the Atma, which is the knower of everything, the controller of everything. See how keep applying on yourself. Don't just collect the data. यावद्धि भय मध्यस्थः अनित्यमात्मानं मन्यते तावद् गोपयुतुम इच्छात्यात्मानं. As long as he is situated or he is located in fear, or is situated in fear, or is thinking of protecting himself, till then he is the seeker we are talking about. The seeker is still thinking of the Atma as an object of knowledge. And as long as Atma remains an object of knowledge, that Atma is only a thought, a conviction in his mind. Thought or a conviction is anitya vastu. And whenever we are contemplating on Atma as anitya vastu, there will be fear, there will be a sense of wanting to protect it. See, understand this. The yogis who do not allow you to touch their feet, why? Somewhere there is fear that my energy will get leaked out. Then I'll have to recharge myself again. It's not so. If you are, space is supporting all, good and bad. Consciousness is supporting all. The waking dream, deep sleep, samadhi, everything. Where is there to fear? Everything is it only. What can you run away from? But because the seeker is keeping himself located in fear, situated in fear, therefore the meaning of that is only one, that he has taken the Atma to be anitya vastu. Anitya means non-eternal subject. His non-eternal subject means that subject which is still changing. It's just a thought. It's just an idea in his mind. It's only a concept in his mind. Intellectually he knows direct experience is lacking. Because once direct experience happens, with that, the individuality will vanish, the fearlessness will come about, and automatically he is the Lord of the pranas, he is the Lord of the past, present, future, he is the Lord of all the karma phala, he is the receiver of all the karma phala. You are that right now, don't forget. Each one of you is that right now. And the moment यदा तु नित्यम अद्वैतम आत्मानं विजानाति तदा किम कह कुतो वा गोपयितुम इच्छेत एतद्वैतदिति पूर्ववत. The moment he comes to know this Atma as the eternal, non-dual principle, that from that moment onwards, who will protect whom, from which side, from what angle, from what? Because Atma is all pervading, it is one without a second. So, is there any duality left? From which is there anything other than Atma from which the Atma has to be protected? Nothing. It's a question mark. What will you protect from whom? That from that very moment, kaha kuto किम कह तदा किम कह कुतो वा गोपयितुम इच्छेत, that you will try to protect it from whom will you? That which cannot be protected, that which is self-sufficient within itself, as itself, that is the Atma Tattva. And combine it with the previous 4 verses, and then understand the sequence. Etadvaitata, this Atma is that Brahman, this Atma is that one which is beyond the dharma, adharma, past, present, doing, not doing. Etadvaitata. In this manner, the 5th verse is concluded. Contemplate. Let's see if I'm free tomorrow. 10-15 minutes before I will SMS if the class is there tomorrow, if I'm able to come back in time. Till then, Hari Om. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.